So I'm here at the Department of Youth Affairs in Barrigada. With me is Director Melanie Brennan, who is going to speak to me about how she, her staff, along with the youth residents that basically weathered the storm. So half a day, Brennan, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So just in terms of how DYA fared during the storm is our building, our youth correctional facility actually withstood the typhoon in a way that I can't explain. Our 3 administrative buildings, which did get a lot of the damage, one building in particular that houses our supplies, our maintenance and facilities people, that is totally destroyed, and it has a server, so it impacts the administration. But our youth correctional facility is still standing. We're on generator power. We never lost water, so the residents are doing really, really well. Their only anxiety was how their parents fared, during the storm.
Right. Is it because also that because right now, connection is one of the top 3 things that the island is going through right now after Typhoon Mawar is connection, and of course some of your residents don't have a way to connect with their families, right?
Right. And so prior to the storm, the governor gave us ample notice to properly prepare, and that's why I believe that the continuity of operations with our youth correctional facility has been seamless. Actually, right after the storm, we did the cleanups, we did the damage assessment, and we made contact. I have social workers that went out to the field, contacted the parents. So parents are actually visiting, and so kids are feeling a little more relieved. It's been a very traumatizing time, but I really feel that DYA did exceptionally well despite this, the magnitude of catastrophe that you see outside of DYA.
Exactly, and you were saying that so all of the families were contacted, all of their families. I believe you told me about 30 youth residents live here. All of their families have been contacted?
So there are some families, there are some kids that actually are under the jurisdiction of Child Protective Services. I believe it's 1/3 of our total population. And so we are in direct contact with CPS. So both teams actually in partnership are trying to make contact with the families if they haven't already been. But I've been seeing visitations going on. And so I think that everyone has been contacted that needs to be contacted. Zoom hearings have been happening, and in-person hearings have been happening. So we're good to go. We do have GBWIC on site, Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness, plus our social workers that have helped the kids and the employees through this very catastrophic event.
Right. So you said that the kids seem to be doing fine. They're less anxious. What else have they been feeling so far, and how have they been doing? It's been 2 weeks since Typhoon Mawar passed. How have they been doing so far? Is it as if as before the typhoon, or some changes have been happening?
So again, with the preparedness that the governor gave us ample time to really talk to the kids about what to expect. Until we lost connectivity, which was kind of on Thursday or Wednesday or Thursday night, they didn't have that communication, but they knew that it was, I think at the time we lost connection, they were thinking it was a super typhoon. So obviously, to wake up on Thursday or Thursday afternoon to find out that it wasn't as aggressive as we thought, and then to finally make contact with their families helped ease that anxiety. Plus the social workers had given a briefing before the storm. So I think that just having them always on hand, the social workers as well as GBWIC, helps. Again, the kids too had anxiety. We did lose power during the peak of the storm, and so our galley, our cooks prepared food, non-perishable food for 3 days, but our partners, Salvation Army, was able to come in and give them warm foods right after the storm. And so I think just moving towards that and understanding that it is becoming more normal has helped them through this.
And you said that the only other, major damage that at least this building right here, where some of the residents are being housed in, is flooding, right? How bad was the flooding?
Really the dormitories did receive water, but we were able to clean that up right away. I would say that on Thursday evening, the water was cleaned up. The galley, though, did sustain some water damage in terms of the food commodities. Some of the canned goods, we had to get rid of. There was a bit of rust on it. So those items. But again, clearly the kids were taken care of. Our continuity of operation is good. It's in place. And really we're focused, our staff is focused on relief, disaster relief. Again, I have people that going out to check families of our residents, as well as the families in our community resource centers, 3 of which we have in Agate, right behind us, right behind this compound, and in Dedado, and only 1 has power and water right now. So those resource centers remain closed as we help with relief efforts.
And of course, we know that the kids are all right. What about your staff? Because I know that, you know, at the end of the day, they do have to go home. There are some residents that don't have power and or water or even cell service. So how have your staff been doing so far and, you know, holding it up together?
So, you know, my staff are very dedicated and very professional, and really I have to give them kudos for actually being here and not really understanding what was going on, because, you know, we lost connection. They were here throughout the duration of the storm, the typhoon, and they did not know what was going on with their families. They could not connect with their families, but being professionals that they are, they stayed with the kids until there was an all clear, and then we switched off shifts. We do, you know that some of our employees did lose a lot, and so we are engaged with our own therapists as well as GIBWIC to offer that kind of assistance, and also just with the JICs that are being released, letting them know, where the disaster relief centers are and how we can help.
And also, is there anything else you would like to add for what the public to know? Maybe even their families, the youth residents' families who are probably listening out here.
Just that, that we are open, albeit on generator power, but we really hope and encourage family visitations. We are open 24/7. Just make arrangements here at our front security. And yeah, we are already on the road to recovery and assisting with relief efforts.
Thank you, Ms. Brennan.